Emotional intelligence made simple. The 4 skills every leader needs to master. Leadership is an emotional game. Let's be honest, most people are promoted into leadership because they're good at their job. They know the systems, the strategy, the process. But the truth is, those are the easiest parts to learn. The hard part of leadership is emotional. The moment you start leading people, you stop managing tasks and start managing energy, emotion, and behavior. That's what makes emotional intelligence, or EQ, the single most important skill for modern leaders. If IQ gets you in the room, EQ determines whether people stay with you in that room. Here's the reality most leaders miss. Leadership isn't just about what you know. It's about how you make people feel in your presence. Because how they feel determines how they perform, how they communicate, and how much they trust your direction. And that's what emotional intelligence really is. Not softness, not sensitivity, but strategic awareness. It's the ability to read yourself clearly, manage your own emotions intentionally, recognize emotions in others accurately, and respond with empathy and composure, even under pressure. When you master those 4 things, everything changes. Your meetings feel different. Your influence deepens. People actually want to follow you. Because emotional intelligence doesn't just change how you lead others. It changes how you lead yourself. Today, we're breaking it all down. Not theory, but practical steps you can take right now to develop real emotional intelligence in your leadership. These are the 4 essential EQ skills every leader needs to master, and the reflections that help each one become part of who you are, not just what you do. Let's get into it. EQ skill number 1, self-awareness, the mirror of leadership. Every form of emotional intelligence begins with this, self-awareness. You can't change what you can't see. You can't grow from what you don't recognize. And you can't manage emotions you haven't even noticed yet. Most people move through their days reacting, not reflecting. They don't stop long enough to notice the pattern behind their feelings or behaviors. And that's why they keep repeating the same mistakes, with different names and faces. Self-awareness is the pause before the pattern. It's the moment where you stop reacting and start recognizing. Here's what self-aware leaders understand. Your emotions aren't the enemy. They're data. Anger might mean a boundary's been crossed. Frustration might reveal a gap between expectation and reality. Anxiety might be pointing towards something unresolved. The goal isn't to suppress emotion, it's to understand it. Because when you understand it, you can use it instead of being used by it. You can tell when your tone shifts. You can notice what environments drain you. You can recognize the moment you start leading from ego instead of clarity. And the more you practice self-awareness, the faster you recover from emotional triggers. A self-aware leader doesn't pretend they're calm. They realize they're not calm yet, and pause long enough to get there. Leadership mindset. Reflection. Ask yourself this week, what emotion has been showing up most often in your leadership lately? Don't judge it. Just observe it. What is it trying to tell you about your boundaries, your expectations, or your values? Write that down, because awareness is always the first step toward mastery. EQ skill number 2, self-management, the discipline of emotional control. If self-awareness is recognizing your emotions, self-management is regulating them. It's the difference between reacting out of impulse and responding with intention. Here's a truth every great leader learns the hard way. You can't control other people's behavior. You can only control your own response to it. The world will test your patience, your confidence, and your composure, sometimes all in one meeting. But emotional intelligence isn't about pretending you don't feel anything. It's about choosing how you express it. The best leaders feel everything. They've just learned to funnel emotion through discipline. When you're angry, you can pause. When you're disappointed, you can clarify. When you're stressed, you can reframe. When you're afraid, you can act anyway. That's leadership maturity. Not the absence of emotion, but the mastery of it. Self-management is what separates professional reaction from personal regulation. It's what allows you to stay consistent when others are chaotic. Because consistency under pressure builds credibility under fire. You don't lose influence because you feel emotions. You lose influence because you project them unfiltered. You can't lead people to calm if you're signaling panic. You can't build trust if your energy screams frustration. Your emotions set the temperature of the room, and leadership maturity means learning how to keep the thermostat steady. Leadership mindset, reflection. When was the last time your tone, expression, or reaction set off an unnecessary fire? What would have changed if you had paused for 10 seconds, not to suppress the feeling, but to understand it? Try this. The next time you feel triggered, name the emotion privately before you respond publicly. Because the moment you name it, you reclaim control of it. EQ skill number 3, social awareness. The ability to read the room. Once you can read yourself, the next skill is learning to read others. That's what social awareness is. Noticing what's happening emotionally around you, not just what's being said logically in front of you. Most leaders listen to respond. Emotionally intelligent leaders listen to understand. They hear the words, but they also sense the tone, the hesitation, the silence that carries more weight than the sentence. Social awareness means being present enough to notice subtle signals, not to manipulate, but to connect. Because leadership is relational, and relational intelligence begins with emotional attention. Great leaders pick up patterns others miss. They notice who's disengaged. They catch the look of confusion before it turns into frustration. They sense the fatigue in the team before burnout becomes an issue. You don't need to be a mind reader. You just need to be emotionally present enough to notice what most people overlook. Here's a truth most people don't realize. The more authority you gain, the less truth people will volunteer to you. That means your awareness has to get sharper, not lazier. You can't rely on people to tell you what's wrong. You have to feel it before they say it. Social awareness isn't mystical. It's intentional curiosity. It sounds like, "Hey, I noticed you were quiet in that meeting. What's your take?" Or, "You seem distracted today. Anything on your mind?" That's not weakness. That's connection. And connection creates trust. Leadership, mindset, reflection. Who around you might be struggling quietly because you haven't slowed down long enough to notice? This week, make a point to observe one person with deeper curiosity. Ask one intentional question that shows you care about their experience, not just their performance. EQ, skill number 4, relationship management, turning awareness into influence. If self-awareness helps you understand yourself, and social awareness helps you understand others, then relationship management is how you bring the two together. It's where emotional intelligence becomes visible. This is the skill that determines whether you can motivate, mentor, and manage people effectively, not by authority, but through alignment. Relationship management is about intentional influence. It's the art of guiding emotions in yourself and others toward a productive outcome. Here's what that looks like in real life. You give feedback that challenges someone without breaking their confidence. You hold boundaries firmly without shaming the other person. You lead conflict to resolution without burning relational bridges. That's emotional mastery in action. You can have all the technical knowledge in the world, but if people don't feel respected, heard, or valued, your message won't land. The best leaders build environments where people can grow and feel safe while doing it. They remember, influence doesn't come from title, it comes from trust. And trust is emotional currency. Relationship management is the difference between a boss people obey and a leader people believe in. Leadership mindset, reflection. Think of the last conversation where tension rose. Did your words elevate the relationship or erode it? What could you have said, or how could you have said it differently to produce a better emotional outcome? Because at the end of the day, leadership is communication, and communication is emotion in motion. Let's recap the 4 skills that change everything. Self-awareness. Know what you feel and why. 2. Self-management. Control your response, not your reaction. 3. Social awareness. Notice the unspoken emotions in others. Relationship management. Turn that awareness into connection and influence. Emotional intelligence is not about being nice. It's about being effective. It's the quiet force that helps you navigate conflict with grace, influence with empathy, and lead with authenticity. And the leaders who master these 4 skills don't just get results, they build relationships that last long after the project ends. Remember, people will forget what you said, They'll forget what you did, but they'll never forget how you made them feel. Leadership Mindset Challenge. This week, pick one of the 4 emotional intelligence skills and intentionally practice it. If it's self-awareness, reflect daily on what emotions showed up for you and why. If it's self-management, catch yourself before you react and choose a response instead. If it's social awareness, read the room and listen deeper. If it's relationship management, use empathy to guide one tough conversation with grace. At the end of the week, ask yourself, what changed? In my presence, my relationships, or my results, when I led with emotional intelligence? If this episode helped you see leadership in a new way, not as control, but as connection, follow and subscribe to Leadership Mindset Daily. Then share it with another leader learning to balance strength with self-awareness. This is Leadership Mindset Daily. Mindset matters. Leadership matters. You matter. Follow Leadership Mindset Daily on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Threads, and X for your daily dose of proven leadership development tips, tricks, and techniques. See you tomorrow.